HR in and of itself is an enabler of the organisation to do quite wonderful things to transform communities. And so for the business partner to really understand more than just the HR rules, but also what the business is trying to achieve and to help them to achieve it is absolutely essential to us. We have that model, it works really well. And if you look at the results in Sandwell, they have absolutely soared since we implemented it.
The HR business partner model can be a really effective one. I think where it's gone wrong in some organisations is that it's been an interpretation of let's take the Ulrich model, let's just change HR assistants into HR business partners between a Friday and a Monday. It doesn't work like that. It's about the local context, it's about the understanding of the local issues, but it's also about being clear about what the business partner model is there to deliver, which is different for every organisation.
Well, in the public sector, as you know, we need to really work hard to integrate different services to deliver the best outcomes. And I think that's where the HR business partner can really play a vital role, because some of the key skills that they need are around collaboration. And if they can really help organisations to understand how they can collaborate more effectively, then integration naturally will follow.
So I think councils and HR profession actually is trying to understand what the role of a business partner is, and whether that role actually is different from what HR used to be in the past.
I need somebody who listens very carefully and then understands what they have to do. They then repeat that back to the business and it's agreed and they deliver on it. So the first thing is about listening and delivering. I think the second thing is about getting the political dimension, because we are political organisations, and understanding what will and won't be tenable for our politicians is absolutely crucial. And I think the third thing is that they should aspire to move up to be the heads of HR, because these people need to be proactive and have fire in their belly and ambition.
The sorts of things that really matter to me are independence, the ability to be able to stand objectively when you're talking to managers and clients, but also back at the centre and be able to argue the case effectively and objectively, so that you're not somebody who just signs up to the latest fads and fancies in the HR world, but someone who can really be able to come at things from their own perspective.
I totally agree. I mean, one of the things that I look for is somebody who's got a genuine interest in the business, who's inquisitive, asks lots of questions about the business, and who thinks about things from the business perspective rather than the HR perspective. So get rid of the fads, get rid of the jargon, really think and talk in a business language. And some of the things that both Angela and I have just said there, it's all about behaviours. It's not about the skills that people bring, it's how they behave and how they operate. So those are the things that HR business partners should concentrate on.
I think I'd say there was kind of threefold. I think firstly they need to understand the service or business they're in, and be able to recognise how people will make a difference to that service, whether that be focused on their skills and knowledge, whether that be understanding the values and drive for that service and its direction, and whether or not they're getting the best out of them. So one is about people management. Two is about their ability to influence the organisation so that it understands people management. And I think three is to actually be able to show the return on investment. So how do people actually make a difference actually through pounds, shillings and pence.
A very good synthesizer, so people who are able to take a model and make sense of it, someone who absolutely is steeped in the business and the business reality, particularly for leaders and managers, and particularly for managers at that kind of middle level, who have got all of the pressure of initiative after initiative coming on from the executive, and all of the pressures of their people with spans of control growing, doing often two jobs or one job that two people were doing. So I think the big ability is to really understand, put yourself in the shoes of your customer in the business, be a great listener and a really good synthesizer.
It's absolutely vital if HR and OD is going to be influential in the future, that we align better with the business and we form better relationships, and this programme is about developing those skills.
I think the business partnering model will really grow, within the West Midlands particularly, because I think it's something that really we haven't got grips to right across the region. I think we've got pockets of excellence, and I think that Aspire will really help that.
People have to learn how to be business partners, and I don't think that you can get all of that from within your own organisation.
We believe that there's been insufficient level of investment into developing the strategic capacity of the HR function. And that applies, I think, at every level of HR. Whilst there are professional programmes, they've largely been focused on delivering the core professional function. What Aspire is trying to do is to take that up a level, to take it up a step, to increase the strategic influence of the function.
Aspire is unique because it's designed by the public sector for the public sector, but it also brings in commercial elements from the private sector. So effectively, what's great about it is we're not just looking at private sector which is focused on profit, we're actually looking at how local government can raise provide value for money and to effectively provide the services for taxpayers, which is a very different dimension.
We were really pleased to secure a CIPD as our delivery partner. They bring real credibility, they bring expertise from outside the local government sector, so the CIPD facilitators have been excellent in adding some real value to the programme.
So a big part of what we did as CIPD was to interview chief execs. So this wasn't an off-the-shelf by any means. It was designed specifically with what chief execs were telling us they wanted from HR. So I think Aspire has really brought that in.
We can be ambitious about what we achieve within HR functions, whether or not you're a NHS trust or you're a local government or you're a fire service or you're a FTSE 100 company. And having that belief and understanding and unlocking the potential through the skills development is really part of demonstrating that back in the workplace, and that's something that we're really keen to support.
It's time now for sort of HR to rise from that and address the future of the public sector.
From Stoke-on-Trent City point of view, we think it's a really good thing to do because we just think it's growing people in the region, and we think it actually gives quite a lot of people an opportunity that they might not have. It's almost like, why wouldn't you do it, rather than why would you do it?
As a result of being on Aspire, I think I've taken time out to reflect more than I've had an opportunity to do recently. I think we're so busy with the day job that we don't always look at what's available externally, networking with other colleagues, learning and sharing, not just what we've done on Aspire, but we suddenly have something back at the ranch, think, oh, somebody else might have done that or know something about it. So I think certainly that reflection and that research has been absolutely invaluable.
Really enjoyed it. I think it's been a really good programme. I've enjoyed all elements of it, both the input that we've had from the CIPD on the taught sections of the course and the action learning set has been really beneficial as well.
Plus you build those networks. Now I know that if I have any issues I can contact my colleagues and say, how do you do it in your place? Equally they can do the same to me. I think it's a brilliant programme.
I think the opportunity to network has obviously been mostly with the actual group where you've had a focused need to do that, but it hasn't, because we have contacts now in other local authorities. It means that we can obviously get in touch with them and share information, and have done that.
I think it covers all areas, both in the strategic context, the organisational context, and there's that element of personal development as well that is really good and gives them the tools to go forward.
The key messages, I think, for Aspire delegates are that it's quite a challenging programme, but it's worth it. If you really put the effort in, you get a lot out.
For those people who are thinking about it, I would say to them, first of all, talk to individuals who've been through the programme. Be clear that what it provided them is something that will meet your needs. I think the second thing is, how does this fit into your own career development? Where do you see Aspire taking you? What can it contribute to you? Talk to us. We will talk with you to help you understand what we think it can bring. And then I think one of the things that we've said in our marketing material for the future, it's not for the faint-hearted. We are going to put a lot of demands on your time, but it's a high investment and high return programme.
The LGA is supporting Aspire nationally as we see this as a flagship programme for HR in local government. We want people to upskill and reskill their HR business partners, and if they're looking to develop business partnering, we see this is really the one-stop shop to do that.
So by going national we can get the best of the best coming forward, and so that we really maximise the opportunity to create the HR business partner of the future.
It's really important to get a national perspective on Aspire. The reason for that is that we're all doing the same thing but just in a little different way, and actually some people are more progressive than others, and we can all learn from each other.
And I think it's absolutely vital that Aspire not only goes national but also enhances different sectors. I think it's really important that people within the public sector understand some of the challenges and issues across sectors and are able to collaborate and build a network so they can learn, grow and develop themselves.
I think it's great that Aspire is going national, and the importance, which is why at Penna we really want to support this capability building in the HR profession, spend an awful lot of time commissioning other people's development and designing other people's competency framework and career projections. But it's very, very important that the HR profession gets the opportunity to reflect, gets the opportunity to step back, to really revisit how they can build a better muscle to be an even better business partner.